Hey everybody, it's Sonjdradeluxe, and today we're doing this summer wetness, glossiness look. We do a lot of skin, a lot of glossiness everywhere. I really like a dewy look for summer, so if you want to see how to get the whole thing, then please stay tuned. So first, because my lips are mad dry, my skin is super dry too, I'm going to start with the Bite Beauty Lip Agave mask. And I'm just doing this on camera, waiting to put this on because I didn't want you to be like, you started with lip gloss on. But my lips are so dry. I'm going to go in with the OLEHENRIKSEN C-Rush Brightening Gel Cream because like I said, I'm really just a piece of work in the dryness category right now. I'm going to follow that up mad quick before it sets with the Gleam by Melanie Mills Rose Gold Body Radiance. Start the glowy transformation. It's going to help to keep my makeup on longer. Same with the C-Rush Brightening Gel Cream. It's 24-hour moisture, so I need all the dewiness I can get. So we're trying to look hella wet today. Next up, I'm going to go in the Pro Longwear Foundation by MAC. It's a natural finish. It's not really matte. It's not dewy, but I like to use this anytime I'm doing something really like glossy looking just because it has the hold I need. I'm going to massage that in. And I always like to start on my cheeks because that's where we want the most product. I can just feel my nose is so dry, I think, from the sun. But that's okay. Hopefully it doesn't look textured when I put shimmer on it. And we're doing this all like kind of fast because we don't want anything to set. We want everything to be quite wet as we blend it because I'm adding a lot of glow products to my skin. Again, while that's still wet, I'm going to take the Nude Air Luminizer by Dior. Not a huge fan of the smell, but it's going to give us that glow for show, so we need to do it. And I'm gonna blend that in. And it's kind of got like a slippery texture, so I'm keeping it kind of not quite right under my eyes because we have to put our concealer there, but kind of in a C shape where we want that dewiness to be. And then we put on our highlighter, it's gonna look so poppin'. Put it around my nose too because I'm dry. But again, always starting where we want the most. Next up, I'm going to take the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer because it's long wearing. So I'm going to put that kind of above and below the eye. Because we're doing kind of a glossy eye, my face is not as dark as my body. So I like to have a base that's going to stay put so that when I do the gloss and it starts to crease, which we kind of want it to do because that looks cute, it's not going to show my veiny eyelids underneath. Veiny and light eyelids. So we're doing kind of like a V shape, doing the most as usual. I'm doing this on top of the liquid illuminator. Again, while it's still kind of wet, like I'm trying to do this mad fast because I want everything to blend together. Put a little finger blend. I'm starting with the areas that I don't mind if it gets blended in really well first. So I'm leaving the eyes last because I want most of the coverage to stay in that area. So I'm doing that last. Pushing that out right up against the bridge of my nose. Sometimes I'll use a clean finger too. But we still get the radiance from all those glow products we used, even though we're patting on top of it. Especially if you're doing fun things in the daytime, it's nice to have that glow so you're glowing across the room. I just went to LA and I did Sunday Fun Day in West Hollywood. They do it differently there than in Canada. It's like absolutely packed. All the bartenders are like shirtless, buff dudes. And there's like male go-go dancers everywhere. It's a lot. I went with Hank and Henry and my other friend Fabiana. And Fabiana's from Canada too, so we were like, what's happening? It was amazing. It was so much fun. And everyone's just out to have a really good time. And that was the weekend of Drag Con, so I got to see some of my fave drag queens like Morning Exchange. And anyways, back on track. Next up, I'm going to do brows, and I'm going to use my Dip Down FLUIDLINE by MAC and my Smith 205 brush, and I'm going to smooth it on the back of my hand like this so I get a nice little fine point on that brush because I'm going to do swipies in my brow hairs. I always like to claim that I'm about to do them natural and then I don't, so I'm just not going to say anything until after. We'll see how it goes. And I'm going to do little swipes in the same direction the hair grows. I do them kind of like spaced out to start with and then go in and fill in the gap. But I always start like almost in the center because like I say with everything, you always want to start where you want the most product. And I always like to look a little lighter in the inner part of my brow. And again, our like skin or our base is still like setting. It's not quite finished being wet, so it's gonna make everything look a little bit lighter. And do some little swipies on the top because that's how they grow on the top. This eyebrow always goes like way higher than the other one, so sometimes I just bring it down a little bit, you know, make it even as I can. But I'm just kind of like smushing my real hair down. Wait, let's do the other side. Same thing, filling in the gaps after. Ooh, so dark. Sometimes if I do it a little dark, I'll just like press it down like this, and then it takes off a little bit of too much. And I'm going to take the Girl Boy Brow Set by MAC, and I'm going to comb that through my brows just to lighten them a little bit. Yeah, going back to Monet Exchange, absolutely amazing, beautiful, and so kind, like one of the nicest people I've ever met. So I was really excited to meet her at DragCon. And I'm just kind of like brushing them up into place. And I don't think I'll snatch my brows today because I want them to look a little bit like imperfect, and they do. So I've used this as a highlighter before. This is the Topaz BECCA Shimmering Skin Perfector. And I'm going to mix it with my Dark Deep Mineralize Skinfinish. Mostly using my Dark Deep Mineralize Skinfinish and my Morphe M402 brush. So I'm going to do my first swipe with just my bronzer. I'm going to go in with the Topaz right after. Kind of set it so it looks hella shiny. But I still want that depth, so I start with the matte first. And this is not a matte bronzer or a bronzer at all. It's skin finish, so I think kind of dust it all over your skin when your makeup is done. I've been using it as a bronzer forever because anything that's too matte goes really gray on me, and I like to be bronze. This is very warm, but all of the shades in this range are really bomb, so I'm just going back and forth. And I'm going to start now because I want that little bit of highlight above my brow with the Topaz. And I know I'm usually like a girl who doesn't use a lot of product, but I'm trying to really shine today, so I'm going in with a lot. Next, Dark Deep to contour the faux or 5-head. You know, who would I be if I didn't snatch the nose? So I'm going to go with Dark, which is a lighter shade. And I'm using an unmarked Morphe brush. I think it's from a kit, but it looks like this. So starting right under my brow, dragging it towards the tip, and that's gonna give us the same like dimensional contour as the skin finish where it's like still moving. I'm not gonna put the shimmer on my nose because like I said, my nose is super dry, so I'm just gonna leave all the shimmer for right down the center of my face. Now, I've never used these before, but because I want the gloss to kind of take on color and not just be clear gloss on the lid, I'm going to try these out. These are cream matte eye colors, and I just thought they'd be good because they're already creamy. They'd mix in with a gloss really well on the eyes, so I am just going to go for it and hope for the best. So I'm going to use my finger to start. If it all goes terribly, I'm going to use a brush. Oh, it's very like almost tacky, or maybe it's because of the Longwear concealer I put on. So I'm gonna use one finger as my applicator and one as my blender. So starting with the applicator finger, and then blending it out with the blender finger, which is a finger that doesn't have anything on it. And I'm just gonna kind of massage that all the way around, leaving the inner corners of my eyes. I don't know how other people have been using it, but I've seen people use it even as like a eyeliner. Maybe it is an eyeliner, who knows? But it's cream, so it's going on my eyes. It robs a little bit too much. Maybe it is an eyeliner. Maybe I'm doing this all wrong, but who cares? It's for your eye, it's safe for your eyes, so I'm gonna use it this way. And I'm kind of leaving the second half of my eyelid bare. And it's almost like the same color as my contour, but I'm using this so that it can blend into the darker shade I'm about to put on, because I don't want it to just like blend into my skin. I want it to have something a little warmer than my concealer color to blend into. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade Rodeo or Rodeo, I'm not sure. Maybe Rodeo because it looks like a saddle. It's a little darker, looks like chocolate. I'm gonna tap off a little bit of the excess because I don't know how it's gonna look yet. But I'm kind of blending that into that other shade that we used a second ago. Now I'm using my previous blending finger as the applicator finger because it was empty, and the other applicator finger as the blender because it has such a light shade, it doesn't really matter. So just blending it out. I feel like this might be an eyeliner, but I'm not sure because of the way that it's kind of sticking. We're using it as a eyeshadow. I'm gonna take my ring finger, no reason, just because it's blank I guess, and I'm gonna drag that along my lower lash line to connect with the darker color we did earlier called Rodeo or Rodeo, I don't know man. The first color is called Take a Hike. I'm gonna go along my lower lash line just to open it up a little bit. There's not a ton of blending time with these because these feel like they are about to stay. That Topaz color we used earlier, BECCA color, I'm gonna put that in the inner corners of my eyes, just lightly dust it onto my lid because I want to brighten it up a tiny bit. I can use my fingers because That's what we've been using for this whole eye look. But I want most of the color to be in the inner corners of my eyes, and just a tiny bit of that sheen in the outer part. I'm gonna go ahead and put on mascara because I like to apply gloss after my lashes mascara has been put on, otherwise it just becomes a mess. For mascara, I'm going to use the KUSH mascara by Milk. This mascara is actually really bomb, and it's got cannabis oil in it. It does not smell like weed. Not that I know what that smells like. And I'm just doing a really light coat on the top because all I want is for my lashes to be black. I'm not trying to build volume because obviously we're gonna put some falsies on. I'm just going back to these. They're in a glass container, so I could tell that they're very quick drying and probably long wearing, maybe even waterproof. Stuff in plastic can withstand air, is a little bit more creamy. These are in these glass containers, so I'm assuming it's not just for like aesthetic purposes. I think it's to keep the product fresh. So if you're using anything like this in a glass jar, like your eyebrow gel eyeliner, always flip it upside down on your counter if you have the lid off. It'll keep it drying way longer, and then if you forget to put the lid on, you're not going to come back to a dry product. I've left it like and gone on a trip and came back and it's still fresh by just having it upside down. It doesn't make a mess, and then put the lid back on when you can. Mascara on the bottom. And I'm going to take these Hollywood lashes that I've used before from Lilly lashes. I'm going to stick these babies on because they're huge and I love them. Because we have such a light look on today and it's going to be mostly gloss, so I wanted a little bit more extraness with the lashes. Wow, these are more extra than I thought. That's okay, I forgot. I'm just gonna put them as close as I can to my lash line and give them a little squeezy squeeze. Because these lashes are so big, I'm gonna take a little bit of our darker color in a Morphe M504 brush, so the rodeo color. I'm just gonna go with rodeo so I don't sound bougie, you know? I'm just going to buff that right into the crease high up, because I know once I put the gloss, like all this is gonna go missing. I'm still gonna give it a little finger blend just so we still have a little body there, you know? I'm gonna go in with the Incredible Glow Iridescent Jelly by Incredible. This is what it looks like. We'll see how this goes, because this is another thing I have not used before, but it's really, wow, it's very glittery. So I'm gonna kind of put that over top of our light color. You can totally tell I'm just freestyling this look, but hopefully it's glossy at the end. Put it in the inner corners too. And I feel like with gloss, like it's nice to have a little shimmer in there so that, and right under the lash line too, so that it looks jelly without us having to put jelly under there when I put the clear gloss. And I'm gonna put a little extra right in that center part. I'm gonna jump away from eyes for a second so I can do the glow on my skin. And we're gonna do the NYX Born to Glow highlight palette. I'm gonna use a mixture of these two. I'm gonna mix the two to start, and then anywhere I want more color, I'm gonna go in with that lighter bit. Use my Morphe M518 brush. Just give her right down the center of the nose. I'm gonna go into the darker color just to blend it in a little bit. That's doing the most for sure. Let's just take a little bit of that light color here, go in the inner corner. A little dusting, you know. I'm gonna get into the Pat McGrath Clear Vinyl Gloss. Wish me luck. And I spread a little bit on the back of my hand. I'm just gonna take a tiny bit, thin it out, and I'm just tapping it all over my lid. But because we did all of that extraness at first, it's going to not lift up, show my eye color underneath. And that little bit of like iridescent jelly we did beforehand is gonna help us catch the light a little bit more. Next up, I'm gonna take the BECCA Tiger Lily blush and just kind of rosy up my cheeks a little bit. So shiny, but this will last a long time, believe it or not. For lips, I'm gonna take my number 13 lip liner from Makeup Forever, and I was not playing when I said I like to do this for the summer in another video. I'm just gonna fill in my Cupid's Bow Messily, center of my lips, not the outer part. I love this color lip pencil. Then I'm going to take the Buxom Camilla Plumping Lip Paint. Smooth it on all over. I've gone a little crazy on the lip liner. That's okay. To finish it all off, I'm going in with the MAC Fix Plus in Gold Light. It's shimmery. So that completes our wet summer look. I hope you guys all enjoy. Let me know what you guys want to see next. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to share, subscribe, follow, love yourself, stay pretty, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. Take care.